Hi, I'm Con.
And I'm Malinda.
And this is Mocha, who is our 2-year-old Australian Shepherd.
They call Australian Shepherds Velcro dogs because they like to be near their owners at all times. So over the last year and a half, we've been finding activities we can do with our dog. If you're not careful, an Aussie will train you. I guess we weren't careful enough. With Mocha, we are always looking for things we can do with him.
Follow along as we show the wonders of the world through our dog's eyes.
This is Raising Mocha.
Leaving Hope, BC, heading to Creston. On our way, we're stopping at Greenwood. Greenwood came into existence in 1895 when a man by the name of Robert Wood found a great place to set up a town. He saw that it would be within easy traveling distance of the many mining camps located around him. Using his own money, he founded roads that led from the mining camps to his town. The city was then incorporated on July 12, 1897, making it the smallest city in Canada. A few years later, the BC Copper Smelter was built in 1901, which brought prosperity to the city. As we got closer to Greenwood, we noticed enormous piles of black rock surrounding a massive smokestack up on a hill. We found out that it is a remnant from the BC Copper Company smelter. The black rocks turned out to be slag piles. The huge slag pile is best known for its Hell's Bells, which come from the railway cars of the same shape that dump the waste material. Small trains of these slag piles shuttled back and forth between the smelter and the ever-expanding dump. When copper prices plummeted, it forced the closures of mines and smelters. Of course, people left Greenwood until only 200 residents remained, turning Greenwood into somewhat of a ghost town from its former glory days. It remained that way until 1942. In 1942, during the Second World War, Mayor W.E. MacArthur Sr. turned the town into a lively internment camp for 1,200 displaced Japanese Canadians. Before long, the little city once again thrived. After the war, many of the Japanese Canadians decided to stay.
On today's adventure of Raising Mocha, we're going to do a heritage walk at Greenwood, Canada's smallest city. Come along with us on the next adventure of Raising Mocha.
Our first stop is at the Miners Park and the Phoenix Bird, built in the 1960s, for a float in one of the Labor Day parades. As we walk to the corner of Deadwood Street and S Government, we come to the fire hall. This building was constructed using locally obtained materials and was built within a month. The first tenant ran a bakery and grocery store. It was building number 10 during the internment years of World War II, and in 1942, 14 families lived in the building. The bottom section was used as a temporary classroom when the original schoolhouse burnt down in 1951. Across the street from the fire hall is City Hall. The basement housed 3 jails, prison cells. The main floor was offices, and the upper floor was the Supreme Court of the County of Yale. We decided to spend a little extra time looking around the courthouse property to give Mocha a little rest, as it was getting hot outside for him.
It's interesting, this one starts a monument from the Great War, and then here at the bottom it says peacekeepers from 1947 to nowadays, least we forget.
You may be wondering why Mocha is wearing a set of booties. We thought it would be a good idea to try them out so that his paw pads do not get too hot on the paved sidewalks. I think they worked out really well for him. Now let's walk up to Government Avenue to the Federal Post Office building. Its grandiose brick construction symbolized the prosperity which was present before 1919. The upper floor housed a Canada Customs office as well as a resident. The original brass mailboxes are still in use today. along Government Avenue, we come to a home that was built by L.S. Mountain Barrett. He was elected as an alderman in 1897 to Greenwood's first city council. Now let's walk down Veterans Lane to Copper. Here we come to a building that was built in 1901. It was a dry goods and hardware store. In 1916, a funeral parlor. In 1942, it became Interment Building Number 3. Today it is the Community Hall, Art Club, Public Library, and the Royal Canadian Legion Branch Number 155. Next, we come to the Copper Eagle Cappuccino and Bakery. This building dates back to 1899. It originally housed the Guest Brothers Assay office. In 1938, it operated as the Greenwood Grocery until 1969. Over the year, renovations have happened until now it is the Copper Eagle Cappuccino and Bakery. And it smelled good. Next to the bakery is the original Windsor Hotel that was built in 1896. In 1898, it was moved to the rear of the property, and the second Windsor was built in front. Weird, huh? Unfortunately, the expanded structure burned on August 3, 1899, and a new hotel was built and opened May 1900. Beside the hotel is a Pacific Hotel. This building was nearly destroyed by fire in 1899 and 1907 and was rebuilt each time. This was building number 1 and housed over 200 Japanese Canadians. Down the street, we come to the Greenwood Trading Company that was built in 1896. It operated as a general store until 1907, and at that time, it became a meat market. Look at that toaster. And the old-fashioned coffee pots and cool. Whoa. Okay, come on, folks. Building came about in 1910 and was a men's clothing store and then a dry goods store. In 1899, the Rando Block was built. It became a 3-story building on the corner of Greenwood and Copper Street. It housed the Bank of Montreal and Rando and Company Dry Goods. The business closed in 1918 with the smelter closure. During the interment years, it was known as Building Number 4. It was one of 4 buildings to house communal baths. The Miller Block, built in 1901. Here you would send a telegram and was the first post office. This was also known as Building Number 11. The Miller brothers, a jeweler and optician, were one of the first to build a business in 1899 in the new city of Greenwood. Over the years, it was known as the Star Theatre, Women's Institute, and CIBC. During the war, it became known as Building Number 5. At the end of the self-guided tour, we ended back at the museum. If you find yourself in Greenwood, we encourage you to go and see the amazing exhibit that they have on display. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Follow along as we show the wonders of the world through our dog's eyes. This is Raising Mocha.